this Thrive Thursday. Excited to be on, excited to be here with you, and excited to dive into this specific topic, which is the single secret every business owner needs to know when it comes to having time freedom, because that's ultimately what everyone wants. They want freedom. They want time to do the things they want to do with the people they love doing them with. They want to have enough money to go where they want, when they want, with whoever they want. But the big thing is time. And a lot of us go and we assume that, or I shouldn't say assume, but really we go and we think to ourselves, if we went, we had more income, or we had better staff, or we had this or that, those are the keys to time freedom. But that's not really the case, in the sense that over my life, over my career, I've talked with over 100 business owners, and it usually doesn't come down to the staff that you have. It usually doesn't come down to the income you make or the revenue you have. It all comes down to the way that you think around the revenue that you make and the staff that you have. Because if you go and you think that it's really hard to go and find good staff, there's a good chance that you're going to go and you're going to create that reality in your life and in your business by attracting the wrong people, by always hiring the wrong employee, by having all of these different things that come up because of your way of thinking. If you believe people are good and that you attract, that you're a magnet for great people, and you create a good culture and a great community within your company, then you are able to walk away. But at the same time, another piece of that puzzle is having the mental acuity to be able to walk away. Because a lot of people, they're trapped in their business. I was talking to someone a couple days ago, actually, through a messenger, not on the phone. And he went and he made a post about how he's on vacation and he's on a cruise with his wife and his son. And he wrapped up a couple big projects. He owns a construction company, wrapped up a couple big projects, and I saw him doing that the last minute. I love the comment. I said, I'm glad you're taking some time off for yourself. Then a couple days later, he did another post on the cruise ship talking about, just taking the time, and if he feels like he should be pedal to the metal. And the greats always say that you need to be obsessed. And I went and I basically messaged him, and I said to him, well, I didn't message him, but I went and I commented on his post. And I said, I hope you have a really good time on your cruise with your wife and your son. Hope you have an amazing time. And really, when it comes down to the greats who are obsessed or obsessed with work, usually they go and they destroy all their relationships with their kids and their spouse in the process of their success. And not only that, they destroy their health, either emotional health, mental health, or physical health. Run into health problems, or they go and their mind is always running, so they go and they get Alzheimer's disease, or they get different mental illnesses when they get older because they never give their mind the time to rest. And he said to me, he's like, thank you very much, Costa. I really needed to hear that. And sometimes as business owners, we go and we think we need to be pedal to the metal all the time. And the only way to make it work is to work like a crazy amount of hours and not really ever having time. But time is the only non-renewable resource we have, in the sense that once a moment is passed, we never get that moment back. So we really need to not only go and have the time to enjoy the things we want to go and enjoy, but we also have to have the presence of mind, because you can go and you can be present physically, but not present mentally. You're thinking about your business, your mind is wandering, you're thinking about all these other things you need to do. You're wondering if your staff are doing their job properly, if your customers are being looked after properly. So many business owners, they'll go and they'll do this. So really the trap is in the mind and the way that you think. You may think it's money and staff, but it's really not money and staff, because a lot of people just like go and wrap around a story is, well, actually a couple stories. So for example, there's a lot of cultural ways of thinking. I'm half Greek. My family is Greek, and a lot of my family, they're millionaires. They've got real estate investments that are worth millions of dollars in Canada and different parts of the United States. And they always talk about the things that they want to do. And they've been talking about the things they want to do for 10 years now. A lot of them are in their late 60s, early 70s, and they don't have the time freedom that they want whatsoever, even though they've got millions of dollars, because they've got the wrong cultural programming around their thoughts and beliefs to actually be able to relinquish control, to pump the brakes, to enjoy their life. And I was telling my dad this, because my dad's one of them. And I said to my dad, I'm like, really, you're 72 years old. How much time do you have left? Like, it's time to go and pack it in. It's time to wrap it up. It's time to relinquish control. enjoy your time a little bit, enjoy your life a little bit. Like, why did you work so hard throughout your whole life if you're not even able to pump the brakes now and slow everything down? And he said to me, he's like, yeah, no, you're right. I need to do this. You're right. I need to do this. And my dad's a prime example of somebody who's destroyed his health. He owned nightclubs and restaurants. He was always up in like the late hours of the morning, was, doing drugs, getting into like a lot of alcohol, a lot of gambling, a lot of like heavy drugs. He was in that era where he just party a lot, especially in his like 30s and his like late 20s. His business was making a lot of money. He owned like a restaurant that was the only restaurant really in the south of Edmonton. And they were making money hand over fist. Like in the 80s, they were turning profits where they made the profit where they could buy 4 houses cash every single year just on profits, not even a bank loan. That's the type of the money they were making in the early 80s. And he's just lived that lifestyle. And now he's caused a whole bunch of health problems, which really sucks, because I love my dad. I want to see him doing well, but he has all these health problems and he's not even able to enjoy his life. So really, time is the most valuable thing that we have, and it doesn't come down to your money. There's so many people who have millions of dollars who have a lot of money and they never feel like they have enough. Or they've got a lot of money and they have an inability to find and keep good employees because they're a control freak, or they have trust issues, or they have negative beliefs and thoughts around finding good employees. So it perpetuates. So many times I'm in different business owner groups and people say a massive problem that they have is staff. And it's like, well, if you find that good staff are hard to find, you're always going to find that good staff are hard to find. When I owned my chain of bakeries in Edmonton, I had four locations. Me and my sister and my brother, we had like 18 staff or 20 staff. I never had a hard time finding really good people because we had community, we had culture, we made it a fun place to work. We were not difficult to work for, and we found great people, and we had time freedom because of the fact that not only did we have amazing people, but there was also a few of us owners, so we had that time freedom. So to go and see different business owners not have any time, not have any freedom, it's, it really sucks. And so sorry to backtrack, but let's go back to the story about the guy I was talking about, who has the construction company, who's on a cruise with his wife and his son. I went and I left a comment. Usually people who say you need to be obsessed with what you do and all the greats he was talking about, very, very like multi-millionaires, billionaires, how you need to be obsessed. And I said, a lot of them lose their spouses. They lose the relationships with their kids. They lose their health. So really, what do they have? They're old and they're alone and they've got no quality of life, just chasing the dollar. So really, it comes down to your mindset. And I said to him, I'm like, really enjoy it. Enjoy this time. And, you taking the break is a really good thing for not only your mental, emotional, and physical health, but also for your business. And he replied to me, he's like, thank you so much, Costa. I really appreciate it. You have no idea how much of a hard time I have detaching my business from my life and my personal life. I want to be the family man who loves my wife and my kids and enjoys life. But I also, I'm so driven when it comes to my business that I can never turn off my mind when it comes to my business. And that's, a common challenge. And I told him that too. And he's like, I really needed to hear this. Thank you so much. I'm like, no problem, buddy. Anytime. He's like, I'll definitely reach out to you when I get back from my cruise and let's connect. I love what you're doing. So, we're going to have a great conversation and we're going to see, if we can help him out. But there's so many people who think this way. They want an amazing life with their wife and their kids or their husband and their family. They want the time freedom, but it's not the money and it's not the staff that's causing the problems. It's the ability to go and have the right thoughts and beliefs to create the systems and leverage to give yourself the time. If you don't have the right thoughts and beliefs around having time freedom, you'll never have time freedom. There'll be, another excuse. Either you'll make a lot of money, but it's not enough. Or, I'm way too busy. I got way too many things going on. I can't take any time. Or if you think that staff are impossible to find or good people are impossible to find, then you'll go and you'll keep having problems finding amazing staff and you'll never have time freedom, because it is important to have, obviously, the income coming into your business and have great people around you to have time freedom. But most of the time, it really comes down to how you think. Are you able to create a community and culture? Are you able to attract good employees, good staff, have good teamwork? Are you able to turn your mind off and enjoy time with your wife or your husband and your kids? Do you have stress, anxiety, mental fatigue, and all these problems? Because really, what good is your life if you go and you have a business and you make a whackload of money and you chase the American dream and, on paper, according to everybody around you, you've made it, but your health is garbage, your relationships are garbage because you didn't have a proper daily system for the last 5 years. And the daily system is everything. I talk about this quite a bit, in the self mastery for rapid business growth. Having a system where you're looking after your emotional health, your physical health, your spiritual health, and your mental health is very important, because if we don't have our health, we don't have anything. And what good is time freedom and what good is income if you don't have the health to enjoy it? And what good is time freedom if you don't have any good people to spend your time with? Because you've destroyed your relationships, you've alienated your relationships with your children, all in the hopes of creating a good life for your children. Because really, that's why we work really hard. We work really hard for our family to make sure everybody's looked after. And if we throw it all away, it's really horrible, right? And that's why balance is everything. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because there are a lot of very successful business owners who they're not really happy. They don't have the right daily systems. They're not doing the right actions. They could make a lot more money and have a lot more time freedom if they had the right daily system and the right thoughts and beliefs to support an amazing life. But if they don't have those, they could either go and spend a whole bunch of time trying to learn how to go and develop these skills, have that schedule, do the certain things, and understand the science behind it, and spend countless hours and tens of thousands of dollars like I have to go and learn all these skills. Or they could hire somebody like me to go and this is the system, these are the skills, this is what we're going to do for 90 days. And I want you to have a thriving life. I want you to have amazing relationships. I want you to make a ton of money. I want you to have a lot of time. I want you to have great health. I want you to have like ridiculous energy levels, because all of these things are really important. A lot of people who come into this group, this self mastery group, when they answer the questions coming into the group, so many people check off stress, anxiety, mental fatigue, procrastination, running thoughts, because that's one of the options. The other ones are sales and revenue. A lot of people check that too. But the most common one is that second one. And if you're destroying your mental and emotional health in your pursuit of business success, number one, you'll never get the success you want, because you need to be mentally strong and emotionally strong. You need to go and process your emotions and focus your mental energy to have the highest levels of success in business. So you won't accomplish it operating at 60% of your potential. But it also, on top of it, not only will you not go and accomplish your goals, it's a double-edged sword, because of the fact that you're going to destroy your health in the process. 10 years is going to pass and your health is going to be garbage because you didn't implement the right daily systems in your business to not only scale and grow in income, in time, in health, in relationships. You need to look after all of those aspects. And people just gauge success sometimes on how much money is somebody making. But really, that's not a successful life. Having time freedom, having good health, having good relationships, and making a lot of money, in my opinion, that's true success in life. That's when you're really wealthy, is when you're able to go and have those things and you're able to give back to the community. You're able to help people and do things for people. Now you're feeding your soul, you're feeding your family, you're feeding your happiness, you're feeding your business. Really, you're feeding everything. That is true success, in my opinion. It is nothing to do with how much money somebody makes. And I've talked to different business owners who make a lot of money. They make $500,000 a month, $1 million a month in their business, and they're not happy. And why are they not happy? Because they don't have the right daily systems. They've alienated relationships. They've hurt their health. They haven't had time freedom. They've lacked energy levels. They haven't had purpose and passion, or that purpose and passion for what they do left 10 years ago. So really, there's so many different things that a business owner could do to have a better life. It just really comes down to, number one, making the decision. Number two, realizing that if I want a life of freedom and time and happiness and all of these things, I really need to go and have a daily system that supports wealth in every aspect of my life. And if I don't know how to go and develop that system, I need to get somebody and invest in myself to go and learn these systems. So then that way, in 5 years from now, my life does not look exactly the same as it looks now. I'm healthier, I'm wealthier, I'm happier, I've got positive thoughts and belief systems, I'm a happy person. All of those things are really important. And that's what I love about working with some of the people that I've been able to work with, especially people like John, people like Isabella, people like William, people like Angelo, because they're just so happy. It's not just a matter of them making more money. They're so much happier. They feel so much better. And I feel that everybody deserves that in business. The fact that the statistic is 74% of business owners have mental health problems, just that alone shows you that their cultural programming or their thoughts and belief systems they learned from childhood is not getting them the life that they want. It's getting them an illusion of the life that they want. And they're basically chasing ghosts. They're never really going to get there because they don't have the thoughts and belief systems or the right programming to go and create that type of a really, rich health life. And the last story I'm going to touch on is because this is another one. Okay. And I absolutely love Filipino people. I love how hardworking they are. Since we're talking about cultural programming, they're culturally programmed to work really hard. So I know a lady back like in the home city that I'm from, and her and her husband, they have like a $2.2 million house. She has a bakery. Her bakery is doing quite well. She's a really good business, and she has three daughters. And even though they have a lot of money, and she has great employees, she could take the time that she wants. But the only way she feels like she could go and take a day off is if she closes. So, and if she's not closed, she's working all the time. And her daughters are in different sports, they're in gymnastics, and she misses so many important things with her daughters because she feels like she needs to be at her business. And when it comes to you don't need the money, you have the money, you have amazing staff. Now is a time where you should really be taking advantage of that and spending time with your daughters. But and I love the lady. She's a super nice lady, but she just has very unhealthy belief systems around needing to work all the time. So all she does is work like crazy. Her daughters want her attention. Her daughters want to spend more time with her. They have this big 2.1 million or $2.2 million house a little bit out in the country from the main city. I've been to their house before. Beautiful house, and her family's amazing. Her business is really good. Her staff were all at the house also. She has really great staff who are not only really skilled in being bakers and being cake decorators, but they're also really good people where she could walk away and take time and the business would run perfectly fine. And she doesn't do that because of the thoughts and belief system she has from the cultural programming that she had from her Filipino parents about no, you don't take time off. No, you grind it out. You like she thinks she's thinking poor and she's thinking broke when she's not poor and she's not broke. She's got the mentality of poverty when she has a lot of wealth. And so she's never really taking that time for herself to do the things that she needs to do. So yeah, so that's just kind of a quick story. So, I hope that gives everyone watching some insight that your time freedom is not determined by how much money you're making or how much money your business is making, because you could be making $1 million a month. And if you don't trust people and you don't know how to create good employees or good systems and create leverage because of your own negative thought patterns, lack of trust, inability to relinquish control, inability of finding and keeping good employees because you have a negative view on people in general, because that's what you learned growing up, then you're never going to have time for it. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. And at the same time, if you do have a lot of money, but you feel like a constant state of it's never enough because you've got that cultural programming of grind away, grind away, grind away, and just accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. You could have millions of dollars and you don't think you have enough money. So you keep grinding away until your health is gone and your relationships are gone. Or you've really hurt your relationships and you've hurt your income. Well, not your income, but your health. Sorry. I mean, you've really hurt your health and you've really hurt your relationships when you had a lot of money 10 years ago. You were fine 10 years ago. You could have created leverage a decade ago and you never. You could have done all these things that you've always wanted to do a long time ago and you never did them because you were trapped in your mind. So That's why I go back to self mastery is everything when it comes to success, not only in business, but when it comes to your relationships, your health, your happiness, and your contentment. Really, self mastery is what's going to give you the best life. It's not your business, it's not how much money you're bringing in, it's not anything along those lines. It's how you feel about you, it's how you feel about what you do, it's the passion you bring to the table, and the commitment you make to your employees and to your customers, and also the commitments you make to yourself to really balance out your time and focus on all areas so that everything compounds upon itself and everything grows, so you've got really good income, very good time freedom, you have very good emotional health, mental health, spiritual health, physical health. You've developed amazing friendships because those have compounded. Your relationships with your kids have compounded. Your relationships with your spouse has compounded. Your company has compounded because you've operated it properly, where your business is constantly growing. Your culture, your community, and your employees, their skills are growing because you trusted them, you relinquished control, and you put them in positions where they're passionate about what they do. So their skills continually grow because they're passionate about growing those skills. So your team of people get a lot better too. So it's really a combination of everything. So I hope you got a lot of value from this. Please put like a hashtag live if you're catching this live. Put a hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. If you have any questions or comments or any takeaways, definitely drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. If you own a business and you're struggling with your business in any way, it might not even be on a financial side. It might just be stress, anxiety, running thoughts, mental fatigue, and you know that over the next year or two, you're going to cause some very big health problems, or maybe even 5 years from now, you know that the path you're on, you're going to cause health problems for yourself if you don't go and change things up. But your income's there. Definitely, let's have a conversation. Let's have a talk, because it's better to look after it now. And it's always better to be proactive than to be reactive, not only in business, but also in life. Look after the things and the areas of concern right now so that they don't become a massive concern later on. And if any of you are feeling like that, you own a business and you really want to grow, you want better relationships, more happiness, more consistency, more like pop in your step, and you want to really get your thoughts and beliefs under control so that you're just a very happy and present person with great relationships and a great business, and you're very productive, then reach out to me in DMs. Say, hey, Costa, can we jump on a call? I'd love to have a chat with you. Let's talk about your goals, your aspirations. Let's talk about your business bottlenecks. Let's talk about your life bottlenecks, things that you're unhappy with. Let's go and find out how we can go and make something really work. And if you're not a fit for the program, I'll definitely let you know. And I'll give you some free resources to make it really valuable for you. And if you are fit for the program, I'll kind of explain, what does that look like? What is the time frame? What is the weekly commitment? Because commitment is everything when it comes to transformation. And let's see if it works for you. And if it does, maybe we can work together. And if not, I'll make sure to, give you some great resources that you can implement into your life now that are going to help you with your specific challenges and problems. So I hope you all have an amazing day. Nice to see everyone who's on live. Thank you for putting hashtag live in the comments. Great to see you. And thank you so much for being part of this community. If you ever need anything, definitely reach out to me. I love to serve, love to be of service, love to see small business owners and entrepreneurs really take their life to higher levels of income, time, health, happiness, and impact. Really, it comes down to making a positive impact. So I'm hoping that I created a great impact in your day, and really just know that anything that's wrong in your business or your life right now, you can fix it. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It's not really difficult to do. All it takes is making a decision and having some consistency behind it, and having somebody help you and coach you and guide you and let you know that, okay, this is why you're thinking this way. This is why you're doing this. This is why you're doing that. Why don't you try this and see how you feel? Let's try this for a couple days. Oh, you're waking up in the morning feeling a certain way. Oh, you're procrastinating on things that you need to do. Whatever the case may be, having a coach, having a guide, having a mentor definitely speeds up the whole process to where we want to go. I definitely would not be where I am in my life right now if it wasn't for a whole bunch of really good people that I've worked with, different mentors I've had. I would not be where I am right now if it wasn't for the mentors that I've had and the people that I've learned from. So I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you so much for jumping on this live. If you need anything whatsoever, know that I am always just a DM away. And I look forward to chatting with you all soon. Have an amazing day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.